Edson Kamwesigye, a father of 2 young children from Ganda village, Nansana municipality, had big dreams when he left Uganda on January 8th this year. He hoped that he had secured a job abroad that promised a better future for his family. But what seemed like an opportunity for a better life turned into a nightmare that ended tragically far from home. Edson's wife, Mukiza recalls the last moment of contact with her husband. She had no idea what kind of job he would be doing. It was until January 15th, a week after his departure, that Edson reached out to her via WhatsApp. His message was cryptic, full of worry. Told her that the job he had been promised was not what he had found.
He told me he had got a job abroad, but he didn't tell me which country he was going to. He didn't tell me what kind of job he was going to do. But he told me when he gets there, he would actually get back to me and tell me everything that I needed to know. So when he went, there was some moment of silence until 15th of Jan, when he communicated. But in his communication, he was asking for prayers because he said things are tough. Things are different from what we originally thought. When we got to this side, that's when he told me he was in Russia. He said when we got that side, we were made to sign contracts of military nature. Like they had to, and they had no choice. You could not say no, you could say yes. You had to sign that. So they signed it, and of course they were like, but we don't have that training. How do we do that work? Previously you had told us we're going to be security guards, we're going to be drivers, and now how do we do military work? They were told they would undergo a 1-month military training, which I think they did. So on 15th Jan, that's when he said we are done with the training, so we are going out for the first deployment. That was on 15th Jan 2026. So he was like, people pray for us. We are not sure if we shall make it.
And then silence. For days, Mukiza had nothing from Edson. A week later, she received an unexpected message from one of his former colleagues, a man who had worked with him in Iraq.
We think maybe he died on 23rd, but I came to know about it on 24th Jan. When someone, a friend, somebody he worked with in Afghanistan, and he's actually still in Afghanistan, and he was my OB, he was my friend, so he contacted me. Actually, he sent me a message on Messenger on Facebook. I was like, have you heard? He was like, no, I heard what? He was like, do you have a WhatsApp number? Can I call you? I sent him the number, and he called me. He was telling me, how are you? I'm okay. How are the kids? They are fine. How is the husband? I was like, he's fine. Are you sure he's fine? I was like, yes, I don't know. I'm not with him, but I think he's fine. So there, he didn't tell me immediately. But then I was like, why is he asking me this? Has anything happened? Before he hung up, I was like, is there any problem? Why are you like asking me? I was like, okay, me, I've seen pictures, but of course I can't be sure he's the one. Can I send you the pics? I was like, don't.
On January 24th, Mukiza received the devastating news. Edson had died in the war. The news came not from an official source, but through social media. His Facebook page had become flooded with tributes and messages of condolence. She had hoped for a different outcome, but the reality was impossible to ignore.
So when he hung up, what I did first, I went to Edson's Facebook page. I was like, maybe there could be something. And he did. When I went there, okay, there were no pictures. There were no pictures yet, but there was a message from somebody who was saying, rest in peace, you had gone to work for your children, you had gone. I was like, hey, what is this? Could it be true? But of course, I hadn't seen the pictures. I was like, maybe it's not true. So later, when I'd come down, I was like, okay, let me call these people. I called the father, he was not picking. I called the mom. The mother picked, and I was like, yes, it's true, because we've also seen the pictures. Remember, I had not seen those pictures. I was like, no, it's true. It's all over social media. It's so that's when I was like, okay, this must be very true.
Heartbroken, the family began the difficult and painful process of repatriating his body. Mukiza, along with Edson's relatives, reached out to the Russian embassy in Uganda on January 27th, seeking help. They also contacted Uganda State Minister of Foreign Affairs, Henry Okello Oryem, who acknowledged the tragedy, but explained that the government could not assist in bringing Edson's remains back home.
The government of Uganda does not have capacity to repatriate bodies of Ugandans who lose their lives abroad. He's not the only person. Even there's another person who died in Dubai recently. There's another person who died in Saudi Arabia recently. And that is why we tell you have to go to the official channels, making sure that that agent that is taking you abroad becomes responsible for your health and for your return home if you die.
As his family waits in limbo, hoping for the return of Edson's remains, they are left grappling with grief and unanswered questions. What went wrong? What kind of life was Edson promised? And how did it end in such a tragic way? David Ijjo, NTV.